how did they do it? 4,500 years ago. No computers, no modern machines, just stone, stars, and the Nile. Ancient Egypt wasn't just another civilization. For more than 3,000 years, it remained one of history's most enduring civilizations. Today, we're covering the entire story, from the first unified crown to the tragic death of Cleopatra, all in just 9 minutes. Let's dive in. Pre-dynastic and early dynastic, 5000 to 2686 BC. Before the pyramids, there was only the river. Around 5000 BC, the Sahara became increasingly dry. People gradually moved toward the fertile banks of the Nile. At first, they lived in small farming villages. They cultivated crops, traded with neighboring communities, and sometimes fought each other. Over generations, they mastered irrigation and learned to predict the Nile's annual floods. Their survival depended on it. Everything changed around 3100 BC. A ruler remembered as Mens, possibly the legendary King Narmer, united Upper and Lower Egypt. For the first time, the Nile belonged to one kingdom. To celebrate this new era, Memphis became the royal capital. The famous double crown symbolized the union of the two lands. Around the same time, one of the world's earliest writing systems appeared. Hieroglyphs were first used to record taxes, grain, labor, and royal decrees. The pharaoh became more than a king. He was believed to preserve Emayat, the divine balance that kept the universe in order. The foundations of one of history's greatest civilizations had been laid. The Old Kingdom, Age of the Giants, 2686 to 2181 BC. This was the age of the pyramids. It began with Pharaoh Djoser. His step pyramid became the world's first monumental stone building. Then came Khufu and the Great Pyramid of Giza. Even today, it remains one of humanity's greatest engineering achievements. Around 2.3 million stone blocks were used. Most weighed about 2 tons. Some granite beams weighed as much as 80 tons. Many joints were cut with astonishing precision. How was it built? Not by masses of slaves. Modern archaeology shows it was a national construction project. Tens of thousands of skilled workers and seasonal laborers built the pyramids during the Nile flood season, when farming temporarily stopped. They lived in organized workers' villages. They received bread, beer, onions, and occasionally beef as payment. Many believed the pharaoh helped preserve the balance of the universe. If he lived forever in the afterlife, cosmic order would continue. To prepare for eternal life, royal bodies were carefully mummified, a tradition that became one of Egypt's greatest symbols. But no civilization remains at its peak forever. After centuries of enormous building projects, prolonged periods of weak Nile floods contributed to devastating famine. The Old Kingdom collapsed. Egypt entered an age of political fragmentation and civil war. The Middle Kingdom, the Rebirth, 2055 to 1650 BC. After more than a century of instability, Egypt rose again. Mentuhotep II reunited the kingdom. The Middle Kingdom became Egypt's classical age. Royal portraits became more realistic and expressive. The pharaoh was no longer portrayed only as a distant divine ruler, but also as a leader carrying immense responsibility. Literature flourished. Great stories, poems, and wisdom texts appeared. Perhaps the biggest religious change was the democratization of the afterlife. Eternal life was no longer seen as a privilege reserved only for kings. Massive irrigation projects transformed the Fayum oasis into fertile farmland. Trade expanded across the Red Sea and deep into Africa. Egypt prospered once again. But gradually, foreign settlers known as the Hyksos established themselves in the Nile Delta. Eventually, they seized control. They introduced powerful new military technologies, including the horse-drawn chariot and the composite bow. For more than a century, Egypt lived under foreign rule. The New Kingdom, the superpower, 1550 to 1069 BC. Egypt refused to disappear. Instead, it adapted. The Egyptians adopted and improved Hyksos military technology. They expelled the invaders and built the strongest empire in their history. This was the age of legends. First came Hatshepsut, a woman who ruled as king, rather than conquering distant lands. She expanded trade and commissioned magnificent monuments, including her temple at Deir el-Bahari. Then came Thutmose III, often referred to by modern historians as the Napoleon of Egypt. He won 17 military campaigns. His empire stretched from Syria to Sudan. Gold poured into Thebes. Later, Pharaoh Akhenaten attempted one of history's earliest religious revolutions by promoting the worship of the sun disk, Aten, as the supreme deity. After his death, traditional religion was gradually restored under Tutankhamun and his successors. Although Tutankhamun died around the age of 19, the discovery of his nearly untouched golden tomb made him the world's most famous pharaoh. Finally came Ramesses II. Ramesses the Great ruled for 66 years. He fathered more than 100 children. After battling the Hittites, he signed what is considered the world's oldest surviving peace treaty. Royal tombs were no longer hidden inside giant pyramids. Instead, they were carved deep into the cliffs of the secret Valley of the Kings, partly to better protect them from tomb robbers. This was ancient Egypt, at the height of its power. The late period, the decline, 1069 to 332 BC. No empire lasts forever. After Ramesses III, political instability, corruption, economic decline, and repeated invasions weakened Egypt. The Sea Peoples attacked. Libyan dynasties took power. Then came the Nubian, Kushite, Pharaohs. They preserved many Egyptian traditions and restored ancient temples. But stronger empires were rising. The Assyrians invaded with highly organized, iron-equipped armies. Later came the vast Persian Empire. Egypt struggled to keep pace with the new Iron Age powers surrounding it. The age of native Egyptian pharaohs was drawing to a close. The final act, the Greco-Roman era, 332 to 30 BC. In 332 BC, Alexander the Great entered Egypt. The Egyptians welcomed him as a liberator. He was crowned pharaoh. He founded Alexandria. Within generations, it became one of the greatest centers of learning in the ancient world. After Alexander's death, his general Ptolemy established a new dynasty. The Ptolemies ruled Egypt for nearly 3 centuries. Although they were Greek, they adopted many Egyptian royal traditions. Alexandria eventually became home to the legendary Great Library and the famous Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The last ruler was Cleopatra VII, highly educated and fluent in multiple languages. She used diplomacy and alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony in an attempt to preserve Egypt's independence. After the Battle of Actium, her cause was lost. In 30 BC, Cleopatra took her own life. Egypt became a province of Rome. The 3,000-year age of the pharaohs had come to an end. Ancient Egypt never truly disappeared. Its calendar shaped Caesar's. Its architecture shaped the world's. Its afterlife beliefs still fascinate us. And thanks to the Rosetta Stone, we can finally read what the pharaohs left behind.